Every day after 60, changes in your body decide how strong or weak your future will be. Maybe you have already felt it. Getting up from a low sofa takes more effort. Carrying a heavy grocery bag makes your arms shake. A simple walk that once felt easy now leaves your legs tired sooner than it should. In those moments, it is tempting to blame age and think this is just how it goes. But that is not the full story. Your muscles are not fading because you are old. They are starving because they are underfueled and undersignaled. In the next few minutes, I will walk you through 10 foods that quietly flip the muscle-building switch back on after 60 without expensive powders or complicated diets. Before we talk about specific foods, we need to understand what is really happening inside your muscles after 60. Muscle loss does not arrive in one dramatic moment. It is a slow leak. Each year, a tiny percentage of muscle fibers stop responding, shrink, or disappear. You notice it as weakness, slower walking, trouble rising from a chair, or that deep, tired feeling in your legs at the end of the day. Doctors call this process sarcopenia. I want you to think of it more simply as a communication problem. Your body still knows how to build muscle. It has not forgotten. But the signal that used to be loud and clear has become faint. When you were younger, a small serving of protein at any meal was enough to flip the muscle-building switch. Your muscles were sensitive, like a brand new radio that can pick up even a weak station. After 60, that radio turns scratchy. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. You eat, but the message to grow does not get through easily. The result is cruel. You might be eating what looks like a normal amount of protein, yet your muscles behave as if they are being ignored. This is why so many older adults feel frustrated. They say, "I am eating, but I am still getting weaker." The solution is not simply to eat more of everything. The solution is to send a clear, sharp, repeated message that your muscles can actually hear. That message comes from specific amino acids, especially leucine, and from the way you space your protein through the day. Certain foods are naturally rich in these signals. Others are bulky, expensive, or poorly absorbed. At the same time, your muscles are being attacked from the other side by low-grade inflammation. Think of this as a slow internal fire that makes it harder to repair tissue. Sitting too long, carrying extra body fat, high blood sugar, and chronic stress all feed this fire. If you only focus on protein without calming that burn, you are trying to rebuild a house while the walls are still smoldering. The good news is that real foods can help on both sides of the equation. Some foods deliver concentrated, easy-to-use protein that breaks through anabolic resistance. Others cool inflammation, improve blood flow, and support the nerves that control your muscles. When you put them together in simple meals that you enjoy, you are no longer fighting age with willpower alone. You are working with your biology instead of against it. So as we walk through these 10 foods, I want you to keep one idea in your mind. You are not just filling your stomach. You are sending instructions. Each bite either whispers "stay the same" or clearly says "rebuild and stay strong." Your job is not perfection. Your job is to choose more foods that send the second message and to repeat that message at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let us start with the foundation, the foods that put real building blocks back into your muscles. The first group is simple lean proteins like chicken breast, turkey, and other white meats, paired with one of the most powerful muscle foods ever studied, the humble egg. Together, they form the backbone of a muscle-saving plate after 60. When you hear the word protein, it is easy to think any source will do. But your aging muscles are picky. They respond best to proteins that deliver a strong dose of leucine in one sitting. Think of leucine as the foreman on a construction site. Until the foreman arrives, the workers stand around with their tools. Once he shows up and shouts instructions, everyone begins to build. Lean poultry and eggs are rich in leucine and other essential amino acids that tell the muscle crew to get back to work. For most older adults, a realistic goal is around 30 grams of protein at each main meal. That is the amount many studies use to fully wake up muscle building after 60. On your plate, that might look like a portion of cooked chicken about the size of a deck of cards, along with a side of vegetables and perhaps half a cup of beans. At breakfast, it could mean 2 or 3 whole eggs cooked gently, not burned, with some spinach or tomatoes. The key is not perfection. The key is hitting that signal several times per day. You may have heard old advice to avoid egg yolks because of cholesterol. For most seniors following their doctor's general guidance, that fear is outdated. The yolk is where you find much of the leucine, vitamin D, B vitamins, and choline that support both muscles and brain. Unless your cardiologist has told you a very specific reason to avoid them, whole eggs can be a safe, affordable way to concentrate high-quality protein at breakfast. Lean chicken and turkey bring a different advantage. They offer dense protein with very little extra fat, which is helpful if you are watching your weight or have a smaller appetite. You can cook a batch once, then slice it cold over salads, tuck it into a whole grain wrap, or pair it with vegetables for a quick dinner. Each time you include a palm-sized portion, you are reminding your body that it still has work to do rebuilding tissue. If chewing meat is difficult for you, remember that soups, stews, and shredded chicken can be much easier to manage than large solid pieces of meat. The goal is comfort and consistency, not perfection. If you are not used to thinking in grams, do not worry. Simply remember this picture. At every main meal, look for a clear, visible source of protein that could fit comfortably in your hand, and make sure it is there on purpose, not as an afterthought. When that protein often comes from poultry and eggs, you are giving your muscles the clear raw material they crave to stay strong, stable, and ready to support the rest of your life. Now let us look at the foods that calm the hidden fire and improve circulation so your muscles can actually use the protein you eat. On this team, 2 quiet heroes stand out for seniors: omega-3 rich fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines, and deep green leafy vegetables such as spinach and kale. Think of omega-3 fats as water on the slow-burning fire inside your body. Over years, stress, excess sugar, lack of movement, and certain health conditions can create a constant low flame of inflammation. That flame quietly damages joints, blood vessels, and muscle tissue. When you eat fatty fish a few times a week, you deliver EPA and DHA, the special omega-3 fats that help cool that flame. Studies in older adults show that these fats can make your muscles more sensitive to the protein you eat, meaning you get more strength from the same meal. A simple 4-ounce portion of baked or grilled salmon can supply enough omega-3 to make a difference. If fresh fish is too expensive or hard to find, canned salmon or sardines in water are powerful, budget-friendly options. Mixed with a little mustard, lemon, herbs, or plain yogurt, they can become a quick spread for whole grain toast or a topping for a salad. Each time you choose fish instead of processed meats, you are not only feeding muscle, you are protecting your heart and brain at the same time. Over time, small fish meals can gently transform tired legs into steadier steps. Leafy greens work from another angle. Inside spinach, kale, and similar vegetables are nitrates and vitamin K, 2 quiet supporters of muscle function. Nitrates help your body create nitric oxide, a gas that relaxes and widens blood vessels. Wider vessels mean better blood flow. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients delivered to working muscles with less effort from the heart. Vitamin K helps your body handle calcium properly, supporting both bone strength and the small blood vessels that serve muscle fibers. When you add a handful of spinach to your morning eggs or include a side of sautéed greens with garlic and olive oil at dinner, you are doing more than eating your vegetables. You are opening the highway that protein travels on. You are making it easier for those amino acids from chicken, eggs, or fish to reach the places they need to repair. For many seniors, a simple pattern works well. Aim for fatty fish at least twice per week and some kind of leafy green at least once per day. It might be a small salad at lunch, greens in your soup, or spinach stirred into scrambled eggs. Over time, these choices gently shift your internal environment away from stiffness and toward flexibility. Your muscles can only rebuild in a body that is willing to cooperate. Fish and greens are two of the best ways to invite that cooperation back. So far, we have focused on direct builders and fire calmers. Next, come the protectors, the foods that shield your muscles from damage and supply the minerals that keep every contraction smooth and controlled. In this group, berries and nuts deserve a regular place in your kitchen, especially blueberries, cherries, almonds, and walnuts. Anytime you move, whether it is a walk around the block or a morning of gardening, your muscles experience tiny tears. Those micro tears are not a bad thing. They are the reason muscles adapt and grow. The trouble starts when your body cannot clean up the waste that comes with that repair process. Berries are packed with natural antioxidants, plant compounds that act like a mop and a shield at the same time. They help neutralize the unstable molecules that would otherwise damage cell membranes and slow recovery. A simple cup of berries, fresh or frozen, most days can make a noticeable difference over time. You might swirl them into plain yogurt, sprinkle them over oatmeal, or blend them with water into a light smoothie. Cherries, especially tart cherries, have been studied for their ability to reduce soreness after activity. For a senior body, that can mean feeling willing to move again tomorrow instead of dreading it because of pain. Nuts add the mineral power that many older adults are missing. Almonds and walnuts provide healthy fats along with magnesium and vitamin E. Magnesium is involved in hundreds of reactions in your body, including the relaxation phase of every muscle contraction. Without enough of it, muscles cramp more easily, feel tight, and fatigue quickly. Vitamin E helps protect cell membranes from the same oxidative stress that berries work against. A small handful of nuts, about the amount that fits in your cupped palm, eaten once a day is enough. You might add them to your morning yogurt, carry them in a small container as a snack, or sprinkle chopped nuts on steamed vegetables for a bit of crunch. Because they are calorie-dense, you do not need a large portion to see benefits. The real magic appears when you combine these protectors with your builders. A bowl of Greek yogurt topped with berries and nuts before bed, or as an afternoon snack, delivers protein, antioxidants, magnesium, and healthy fat in one simple dish. You are feeding your muscles, guarding them from damage, and smoothing out blood sugar swings all at once. Over weeks and months, those quiet layers of protection translate into more days when you feel ready to move instead of fragile and worn out. If you have avoided nuts in the past because of fear of fat, it may help to reframe them. The fats in raw or dry roasted nuts are mostly the kind that support heart and brain health, not the kind that clog arteries. When they replace sugary snacks or refined crackers, they actually improve your overall diet. Think of a small portion of nuts paired with berries as a smart upgrade, not an indulgence. This combination gives your muscles what they need to repair, and your taste buds enough pleasure that staying consistent feels easier. Another powerful piece of your muscle-saving plan lives in two familiar but often underused food groups: legumes and dairy. Beans, lentils, and chickpeas may not look like muscle food at first glance, yet they quietly supply a steady stream of plant-based protein along with fiber that your gut and immune system love. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese offer a different advantage, delivering concentrated protein in a form your body can use slowly over hours. Legumes are like the budget-friendly workers on your construction crew. Half a cup of cooked lentils or beans generally holds around 8 or 9 grams of protein, plus iron, folate, and magnesium. On their own, they may not hit the leucine trigger as strongly as chicken or eggs, but they make up for it with volume and fiber. Fiber feeds the helpful bacteria in your intestines, which in turn help you absorb nutrients more efficiently. A healthy gut is like a well-managed warehouse for your building materials. Nothing is wasted, and deliveries reach their destination on time. For an older body, this matters more than most people realize. If digestion is sluggish or your gut lining is irritated, you can eat plenty of protein and still fail to deliver it to your muscles. By adding a simple lentil soup to dinner or scooping black beans onto your salad or rice bowl, you are supporting absorption, not just intake. When you pair beans with a small portion of whole grains, such as brown rice or whole wheat bread, their amino acids complement each other and form a complete protein, giving your muscles a broader set of tools to work with. Dairy plays a different, equally important role. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese are rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that acts like an overnight drip for your muscles. When you eat a serving in the evening, amino acids are released gradually into your bloodstream while you sleep. Instead of going 8 hours with no new building blocks, your muscles receive a quiet supply that helps prevent breakdown. This is especially valuable if your appetite is smaller later in the day. You may not feel like eating a large meal at night, but a modest bowl of yogurt with berries or cottage cheese with a few nuts can easily deliver 15 to 20 grams of protein without feeling heavy. That is enough to make a real difference when combined with a higher protein breakfast and lunch. If you are sensitive to lactose, many brands of Greek yogurt and some cottage cheeses are naturally lower in lactose, and lactose-free options are widely available. The goal is not to force a specific product, but to find a form of dairy that your body tolerates well. Once you do, treating that food as part of your muscle routine, rather than a random snack, turns your fridge into a daily strength resource. One caution is worth repeating. Flavored yogurts and sweetened dairy desserts often hide large amounts of added sugar. That sugar may cancel many of the benefits by spiking your blood glucose and feeding inflammation. Choosing plain versions and adding your own fruit, cinnamon, or a drizzle of honey keeps the focus on protein and nourishment. In this way, legumes and dairy become quiet partners, helping you both take in and actually use the protein that protects your strength. There are 3 final pieces that complete your 10-food shield against muscle loss after 60, and they all have to do with support, fuel, and timing. Those pieces are quinoa, bone broth, and the way you handle vitamin B12 and your overall protein schedule. Quinoa is often called a pseudograin, but for your muscles, it behaves like a smart fuel and backup protein source in one. Unlike most grains, quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids, which means it can stand alongside your other proteins instead of just sitting under them. 1 cooked cup offers around 8 grams of protein plus complex carbohydrates that refill the energy stores in your muscles. If you never replace those stores, your body will start breaking down muscle to use as fuel. Swapping white rice or regular pasta for quinoa a few nights a week can prevent that quiet scavenging. Bone broth provides a different kind of building material. It is rich in collagen fragments and amino acids that support tendons, ligaments, and the connective tissue that holds your muscles and joints together. When those structures are weak or painful, you move less. When you move less, muscles shrink faster. A warm cup of bone broth in the afternoon or with a light meal not only comforts, it supplies the raw materials for joint support. Over time, that can make gentle exercise feel safer and more inviting, which then multiplies the effect of all the protein you are eating. Vitamin B12 sits in the background of this picture, quietly influencing nerve function and energy production in the muscles you are trying to save. Many older adults are low in B12, especially if they take medications that reduce stomach acid. Even if your food choices are good, low B12 can leave you feeling weak, numb, or unsteady. Foods like eggs, dairy, lean meats, and some fortified milks do supply B12, but absorption is the challenge. If you suspect a problem, this is the moment to ask your doctor about checking your level and, if needed, using a form that dissolves under the tongue. That method bypasses the stomach and gets the vitamin where it needs to go. The last, and perhaps most overlooked factor, is timing. Your muscles do not care only about the total grams of protein you eat in a day. They care how that protein is distributed. Many seniors fall into a pattern of very light, low-protein breakfasts, modest lunches, and heavy dinners. On a chart, the total might look acceptable, but in real life, your muscles receive only one strong signal in 24 hours. A better pattern spreads protein more evenly. That might mean eggs and yogurt in the morning, tuna or beans at midday, and poultry or tofu with quinoa and vegetables at night, plus a small serving of cottage cheese before bed. Each of those eating moments delivers 25 to 30 grams of protein, enough to cross the threshold that actually flips the muscle-building switch. Instead of a single shout at dinner, you are sending 3 or 4 clear messages. Over weeks and months, that difference in timing can be the line between steady decline and slow, satisfying progress back toward strength. You have just walked through 10 simple foods and the science of how they protect your strength after 60. Chicken, eggs, fish, greens, berries, nuts, beans, yogurt, quinoa, and bone broth. None of them are exotic. Most are already in your kitchen or at your local store. The difference now is that you know what they do inside your body and how to use them on purpose. Here is your gentle challenge. For the next 14 days, choose at least 3 of these foods daily and make sure each main meal includes a source of protein, not just at dinner. Write it down. Notice how your energy, your balance, and your confidence with everyday tasks begin to change. If this guidance helps you feel more in control of your health, subscribe, share this with a friend, and say in the comments which food you will add to your next meal.